They played today, and they're headed to Vegas now after helping extend the nation's 6th longest active home court winning streak. This is one of 2 properties the city will be acquiring and completely leveling. Well, Tara, this is a race that's gotten a lot of attention. That's because millions of dollars were put towards campaigning against Braley. Now, the 15th annual Taste of Dubuque going on this weekend at the Port of Dubuque. To be honest with you, yesterday when I was talking about doing the ride, I wasn't planning on doing the entire 46 miles. Take this, for example, say you feel uncomfortable and unsafe downtown in Dubuque during broad daylight. Chances are you feel the same way at night, which is why you probably feel unsafe in other parts of the city. Elk are not a native animal to Iowa. That's why many people are concerned. But that also has some people hoping that they're here to stay, especially when snow is in the forecast. In fact, most of them were already out on Monday night. You bride and grooms planning your wedding, that sometimes tends to be the hardest part. Well, today there is help available. Chances are if you've lived in Iowa at some point in your life, you probably stepped foot on that home plate. Maybe you even walked the bases here at the Field of Dreams, but now it's for sale. I don't know, but it was a lot of fun. You know, Maquoketa Valley came into this game this week better off than they were last year. Jennifer and I were just talking about how easy guys have it when it comes to hair and humidity. Yes. I just want everyone to know that. We're talking weather, obviously going to be a hot, humid day. And private residences dropped to less than 1 arrest per 10 households. Well, hey, Tara, just as you said, this is where the Black Hawk County Democratic Watch Party will take place in just a few hours. There are a lot of races to watch. Now, one in particular is Congressional District 1 incumbent Bruce Braley up against Republican candidate Ben Lang. Now, this race in particular has gotten a lot of attention. That's because Braley had more than $50,000 spent against him from an outside group. But pre-election polls actually favor him by about 3%. This afternoon, we caught up with both candidates. Lang taking the time to vote at the VFW in Independence with his wife accompanying him. Meantime, we also caught up with Braley this afternoon. He was making one final push. It was during a radio interview at KBBG. He spent the day traveling across his district doing just that. Now, both candidates say they're confident that voters will come through for them today. Both of them say they will win. And of course, coming up tonight at 6, we'll hear from both of them, and we'll bring you the results all night right here live in Waterloo. Lauren Squires, Iowa News, Channel 7. They say behind every great man, there's a great woman. But Tuesday, standing next to 86 great men, were 3 great women.
We got them right off the field when they'd been injured. They flew them in to the Quad Cities.
One was a nurse.
I was in post headquarters doing clerking type work.
One a clerk. And one in naval intelligence. Working alongside thousands of men, Francis Kringle, Marilyn Hellenbach, and Harriet Heller all served in World War II.
They were so anxious to get home, the boys.
And while humble about their job, saying the men were on the front line of our freedom.
So many of the women who were nurses, I feel, took the brunt.
Alongside every man again, this time in Washington, D.C., these women were honored for their service like never before.
I was overwhelmed. Just absolutely. Nothing could have been any more organized or nice. I mean, it really made us feel special.
That was a tearjerker. I didn't expect that. I've never gotten a welcome home like that.
And for them, stepping onto the site of this World War II memorial.
My husband was in service, and I just wish he had been here to see it.
Was like stepping back in time, joining together and remembering the great men and women of the greatest generation.
It's just unbelievable. Can't believe it.
In Washington, D.C., Lauren Squires, Iowa News, Channel 7.
When I walk into my kitchen today, I am not alone. Whether we know it or not, none of us is.
Sharon Cutler and Marilyn Bentley are used to cooking, especially during the holidays.
We mix together 3 large eggs, 1/3 cup of unsalted butter, dark corn syrup and light corn syrup, 3 important tablespoons of bourbon.
Today, they're making bourbon pecan tarts, courtesy of Starview's Cuisine for the Cause. It's a cookbook featuring some of the best recipes on Starview Drive.
It's the kind of cookbook that has a lot of heart and soul.
Heart and soul that all began back in 2005. the year Bentley was diagnosed with breast cancer.
And had lumpectomy and chemo and radiation, and lasted for 4 years.
In that time, Bentley and her family started a team for the Susan G. Komen Walk.
It's a 60-mile walk, and you do it over 3 days' time.
She raised money by auctioning off baked goods at her neighborhood's annual meeting, raising just $400 the first year, but neighbors wanted to add more.
We were at one of those annual meetings where the men of the neighborhood make soup, and someone named Sharon Cutler said innocently, "You know, we should write these down. These are some good recipes." And that's how it all started.
The two gathered recipes from all their neighbors and compiled a book.
Ready to pour.
Printing 200 copies, hoping they'd sell as many as they could, all proceeds going to Bentley's team.
And before those 200 were even off the press, we needed to print more.
Already they've sold 800 copies, raising nearly $2,500, giving Bentley's team a grand total $60,000 over 5 years.
Not only are we amazed, but we're very grateful for the support.
Support that continues to pour in. Last year, doctors told Bentley her cancer was back. She'll be on chemo the rest of her life.
Food is never just food. It's always a way of getting at something else.
Right now, that something else is hope that someday someone will find the right ingredients for a cure. In Dubuque, Lauren Squires, Iowa News, Channel 7.
So we have big tarts and little tarts. What should we have?